Allow me to ask you a very straightforward question. If 450 million white people moved to continental Africa over a period of 15 years and started calling the local African tribes racist, started demanding that Africa look more like Europe, and white people spread a wave of crime across Africa, kidnapping their children, stabbing them, raping their women, blowing things up. If that happened, would the Africans tolerate it? They wouldn't, their arse tolerate it. They'd start killing white people en masse, that's what would happen. So why the fuck are we tolerating it? Because that's the equivalent of what's happened in Ireland. 450 million whites moving to Africa in 15 years is the equivalent of what's happened to Ireland. Almost 1 in 3 people in this country are now non-Irish, born in another country. And that doesn't take into consideration the number of children born to non-Irish parents in Ireland. So in fact the real figure is probably more than 30%. So why is that okay? Why are we putting up with this? Like, I need people to understand the scale of the invasion that's happening and what you're allowing, what you're tolerating. Because despite what we tell ourselves about white men, we are the weakest generation of whites in all of human history. Previous generations of whites conquered the world. They weren't afraid of offending foreigners coming into their country. Because what's happening to our country is so outrageous. As I said, it's the equivalent of 500 million people moving to Africa in 15 years, which would be considered racist population replacement. When it happens in Ireland, it's fine. When it happens in Europe, it's fine. In America, it's fine. It's not fine. This is the thing. Everyone needs to wake up every day being in total awe and angry at multiculturalism. You can't let this become the norm. You can't let it become familiar. You can't tolerate it for a second. Every day I wake up, I'm fuming over what has happened to my country. Fuming. I never, ever accept it. Ever.